As we move into summer here in the high country, not only is it time for hiking, biking, fishing, and rafting, but it's also the busiest time of year for the Summit County real estate market. We'll see new listings hit the market each day as buyers return for their summer adventures. But before we launch headlong into summer, I think it's important to take a quick look back at the month of May this year and how the real estate market performed compared to last year. Hi, it's Pete Deininger with the Breck Life Group right here in Breckenridge, and in this video I'm going to walk you through my 3 key takeaways for the May 2024 Summit County real estate market, how we performed this year compared to 1 year ago. We'll talk number of sales, we'll talk prices, we'll talk inventory, price reductions, all kinds of important takeaways as you are thinking about this summer. Now, before we get started, we continue to get phone calls and text messages from people just like you with questions about both buying and selling real estate here in Summit County. So if you've got questions, don't hesitate, reach out, give us a call, send a text, whatever the case may be, we're here to guide you through the process. Let's get started with today's video. Okay, first up, let's talk number of sales or closed transactions for the month this year. I would say our market was essentially unchanged. There were a nominal 4 sales fewer in May this year than last year, but that is essentially unchanged from a year ago. What is surprising as part of that is that we saw a 50% increase compared to last year in the number of price reductions. So sellers, we're going to talk days on market in just a second, but sellers were forced to, due to the time on market, reduce their list price. Now, this could be one of 2 things. Number one, we still do have a segment of our seller market who thinks that it's still the middle of the pandemic and they can price it anywhere and the demand is just so great that people are going to buy competing offers. That's just not the case today. Except for a couple of slim segments of the market. There are certain property types in certain areas that are still selling pretty quickly with competing offers. If you've got questions about that, reach out to us. We'll let you know what those are. But for the broader market, we're still seeing a slower movement in our cycle. The other side of that equation is that buyers are still a little bit nervous. Not only is it an election year with all the volatility involved in that, but interest rates, mortgage interest rates, still not where they would like them to be, up in the low 7s, maybe cresting down into just below 7 in the high 6s, but really not a place where people are highly motivated to secure a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. So I think given the volatility in the market, an essentially flat market by comparison to number of transactions last year is a pretty good sign. My second key takeaway from May of this year compared to 1 year ago, inventory. Now, a quick note about the seasonality of our market. May is not typically a time when we see a ton of new listings, and that's only because the ski season is normally just wrapping up. People are putting some updates and repairs into their properties and getting ready for a summer listing, which is typically June or perhaps even July when we see a lot of increase in inventory. But this year, we saw a 47% increase in the number of new listings that hit the market around Summit County compared to 1 year ago. So it does feel like some of those owners who've been holding on throughout 2020, 2021, 22, and 23 are finally thinking that maybe we'll vacation somewhere else and it's time to list our Summit County property. So it will be very interesting to see if those numbers, the higher inventory levels, continue throughout the summer. A quick side note about inventory. Not only did we see a pretty significant increase in the number of new listings, but the days on market, or the amount of time that it takes for the average property to sell, increased by 53%. So that means the total number of time on market for the ones that came on the market in April, many of those properties were still on the market in May, and then we had the new inventory in May as well. So for buyers, they have more options, and that's probably affecting what we talked about in bullet point number 1, the price reductions, because when buyers have greater choices, they can only choose to purchase one property, and so some of those other properties that are being second choice each time, they may face price reductions. And my third key takeaway for the month of May this year compared to last year: prices. This is what everybody wants to know. Are prices on the rise? Are prices pulling back? If you're a buyer, you're probably wondering, is there an opportunity for a deal in Summit County? So we're going to take a look at prices in 2 different ways. First, for all of Summit County, all property types. So this is single family homes, condos, townhomes. The market was up, or the average price for all property types was up 19% this year in May compared to 1 year ago. That average sales price for all sales, all property types, was about $1.4 million. So 19%, that's a pretty significant increase in 1 year. When we narrow our vision and just take a look at single family homes, so all throughout Summit County, single family home sales up 36% in price, with the average sales price at about $2.5 million compared to $1.9 million a year ago. And again, smaller sample size. We're only looking at 1 month, and this summer will be really, we'll have, by the end of summer, we'll have a lot more data to share with you about really the state of the Summit County real estate market. All right, that wraps up today's video. I know we can't hit on all the important parts of the Summit County real estate market in one short video. So if you've got questions, give us a call, send a text, send an email. We are always here to help answer questions about buying or selling real estate in Summit County. Thanks very much.